It's time for On the Farm in Alabama, bringing farmers and agribusiness the latest news from Alabama Extension and the Auburn University College of Agriculture. Now here's your host, Alabama Extension Regional Agent, Eddie McGriff.
Good day. I'd like to welcome everybody today to On the Farm in Alabama, and today we're in Madison, Alabama, and I'm with Dr. Katelyn Kesheimer, and she's an entomologist with Alabama Extension, and today we're going to be talking about an important subject, and that is we're starting to get resistance in our BT crops to certain worms or Lepidoptera, and Katelyn is doing a very novel approach to help us avoid this, and that is pheromone disruptors. Katelyn, can you tell us just exactly what pheromones are and how they disrupt and help us to avoid the worms getting into the corn ears?
Sure, that's a great question. So we're probably familiar with pheromones in the entomology world. We use them in insect traps. We'll attract insects to see an idea of what population is there and how many are there, and these are ways that insects communicate. They can't have conversations like you and I, so they have molecules that are scented in the air that say, here's food, here's danger, and in many cases, when it comes to mating and reproduction, the males will use them to find mates. And so what we're trying to do with mating disruption using pheromones is confuse them, specifically fall armyworms, with so much pheromone, so much chemical communication and scent in the field that they can't find each other. The males and the females can't find each other, and if they can't find each other, they can't mate, and then they can't lay eggs that hatch into caterpillars that feed on the corn. And so that's the plan for this project.
So this is a very novel approach. Has it been used before successfully?
It has never been even attempted before with fall armyworms. So we've done mating disruption with a couple other insect pests, and there's different ways to do that with pheromones or even releasing sterile males. We've done that with mosquitoes, but this has not been done before with fall armyworm in corn. And I'm collaborating with some folks at Mizzou, University of Missouri, Dr. Kevin Rice and his grad student Kelsey. We have sites here in Alabama at the Henderson Farm, and then they have sites in Missouri. We also have field sites in Africa. We know that fall armyworm got to Africa recently, and it's devastating the crops there. And like you mentioned, Eddie, we have resistance to some of the cry toxins, and so we need a solution moving forward if we're going to continue to grow and deal with this consistent pest we see every year.
All right. Well, this is a very novel approach. This is something that in the future could help farmers as these worms start to develop resistance to the different BTs. We've got several different BTs right now, and we keep having combinations, but with BT in so many crops, corn, in cotton, it's easy for the worms to get resistance to them.
Yeah, exactly. And we think about, the lifespan of BT. We've had it, last year was the 25th anniversary, which for us is 25 years, but for insects, think of how many generations they'd have in that time. So if we have 5, 6, 7 generations of fall armyworm a year, that's more time for them to develop resistant populations. And so this is hopefully another tool in that toolbox so we can continue growing our crops and feeding the world.
Well, I appreciate it, and this is very interesting research. In the future, I hope it's very helpful to our farmers, and thank you for being with us today.
Thanks so much. Come back at the end of the season and see our results.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.